Public Accounts Committee will now resume. Members, let us make welcome the Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mr. Head 26. Secretary and your team, welcome to the inquiry into the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. So that you have been part of this process in the past, and you know exactly what are the arrangements, protocols, privileges that are applied in protecting witnesses that appear before the committee. So feel free to engage with the committee, this inquiry, and we will get straight into the proceedings. In terms of your budget for 2026, it would appear that you have been able to maintain the same level of funding in both the recurrent and the development mix. So congratulations on your very successful protection of the allocation amid, you know, a very, very tough situation that we have to compete for resources. But it shows that your team have been able to put up a good submission, and I'm sure that you have an excellent team that has been able to protect the funding situation that you have been allocated with. So in terms of the proposal that is being presented in the bill itself, I think you have maintained the same level for this year to next year. Some very small changes, but I'm sure that you will explain that to the committee. In terms of the recurrent and development ratio expenditure, against the guideline of 80% recurrent and 20% development mix, I think you are able to have about 90% on recurrent and some 9% on development. So perhaps going forward into the future, you could present to the committee what are your plans in improving on efficiency, maybe, in the way that recurrent spendings are expended, so that you can be able to have more resources available for development, another capital development spending. But surely it's going to be a very tough year next year, given the fact that, we have for the last 5 years inherited, this very, very reasonably, known cash flow sort of situation that has never been subsiding. Seems to be there. So maybe you have a talem lomival too, what's in line in terms of thinking to try for cleaning up too the budget itself, so that possibly there might be some outstandings from previous years that have keep building up, and therefore am affecting the way that you guys are delivering on your prioritized resources in budget. But PS, I'll leave that to you for you explaining come normal or committee. You've got a good size development budget of less than 10 million, so I'm a little bit worrying too here, but other members will raise questions on those. And of course, the bigger picture about some of the major infrastructure that, we have, where are they recorded in terms of capital spending over the years? Are they still under the Home Affairs, or they are in statutory bodies, yeah? Like that somehow you were able to get it out of your hands So our focus for audit and reporting, yeah, I think one time office of the Prime Minister, I think, yeah. So they still have it there with them. Yeah. Later in the afternoon, we will have some engagement with the Audit General's office. Some information might come out for some of them. But nevertheless, 10 million versus some 300 million or 400 million Low Stadium, all of that. Yeah, when you look into the kind of a context that I'm really under your constitutional responsibility, and it's a bigger picture to look into. So I'll leave it to you. PS, feel free and most welcome to address the committee, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Also, thank you, committee members who are present this afternoon. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity for my ministry to come and make presentation before you now. Just by way of introduction, appearing with me is my two deputy secretaries, Deputy City Clerk, CEO NSC, Director Sports, Registrar of Civil Registration, also Director Civil Affairs, Special Duties, Financial Controller, and Human Resources Manager. Without further ado, I'll go straight into what I want to present, Chairman. So, in terms of revenue for 2025 revised budget, we have like 7,178,829, and the revenue 2026 budget estimate is like 6,400,000, and the projected difference is like 778,829, and there's a decrease of 12.2%, Chairman. Our revenues, as you know, Chairman, from the Civil Affairs Division, citizenship and lottery fees, and also certification fees. In terms of payroll, Mr. Chairman, 2025 payroll revised budget is 4,206,836. And the 2026 payroll budget estimate is 3,913,860. There's a difference of 322,976 and a decrease of 9%. The cause of this decrease, Mr. Chairman, will be due to the close analysis and collaboration of our ministries. Ministry of Public Service payroll. And other charges, Mr. Chairman, 2025 revised budget on other charges, 24,892,964. 2026 budget estimate is 77,597,578, and the difference is 2,614,614. There's an increase of about 4%. So on the recurrent front, Mr. Chairman, there is a difference of 2 million plus, which is an increase. There's an increase of about 4%. In terms of the recurrent budget, Mr. Chairman, there are certain areas, subheads with higher budgets. Under the Somali National Sports Council, subvention grants around 60 million and 14,000 that is catered for sport facility maintenance, upkeep, utilities and operations, as well as payroll. And the breakdown of this, the utilization of this cost, corporate and administration, Commonwealth Youth Games, Summer Games every 2 years, anti-doping compliances, UNESCO, NF international participation, IT and management plan, partnership and skills engage with locals, international organizations, maintenance programs for facilities, establishment of NSC provincial sports and recreational award events, NF support for governance, operations and development, high performance coach associations established with database for coaches, coding and quotas and training program, training by China for coaches and facility managers, sport education, training, upgrading professional development training for staff and NSC branding. And for your information, Mr. Chairman, this year, 2025 budget estimate and other charges, NSC only receives 30% of the 61,014,000, which is around 8 million. And last year, 2024, NSC only received 15% of the amount. Mr. Chairman, while we have the budget on paper, the actuals receive a far less. Yeah. Also, Mr. Chairman, under corporate services, there are costs responsible for the running of the ministry, and this includes office rentals, staff rentals, utilities, and so forth, which may amount to something more than 4 million. Also, under Civil Affairs Division, Chairman, recurrent budget, we have 2,160,000 under entertainment, and that is for the hosting of the Independence Anniversary celebrations, which happen annually. Coordination, planning, and preparation usually started early in April, and transaction and payments ended in the month of September. So that is for civil affairs. Sports grant payable to federations, it amounts to around 2 million. These are costs relating to sports grants normally received by sport federations. This budget also meets mutual sport ministers, senior officials meeting overseas, anti-doping meetings, UNESCO ministers meeting, Olympic, Commonwealth Games, emerging ministers meeting, and so forth. Another area that has a higher allocation also, Mr. Chairman, is a tree planting machine, which forms part of the Honey City Clean Green Campaign initiative, and planting of trees along the highway and other major roads within Honiara. On development, Mr. Chairman, the 2025 development budget revised for the ministry is 12 million. And the 2026 development budget estimate is 8,493,125. There's a difference of 3,506,875. There's a decrease of around 42%. So under the provincial sports infrastructure development program, it's a 3,500,000, and this is to cater for 1.5 million. We cater for the completion of Norotuna Park, and others for advertising, consultation fees, public servant, local fares, local accommodation, local other costs, freight cost, capex land on residential building, and also the National Youth Grant. For the Somaliland National Sports Council, the budget allocation of around 4,993,125. And this is for the construction of a new playing field and other sport facilities for King George VI School. And the decrease of the development budget will have some direct impact on the ministry's deliverables, especially NSC. The King George project is the main one, and the issue around it is that They gave up equivalent of 7 fields for the games and received very little from the school's perspective. They want their own facilities on their land as it is safe for the students. Also, the amount in the budget proposed is 4.993 million. The actual cost as a cost without price escalation or profits, so adding is at least like 1 million. It's likely to be needed for a total of 6.5 million as required. And other areas that reduced 2016 budget allocation that affects one is the provincial school games. Because we will revive the school games, we need to get more schools involved throughout the country and get them select provincial teams. Another area is medal incentives. This will likely not be possible. This year we've spent around about 500,000 on incentives for the Pacific mini games, women's football team and the futsal team. This will take away incentive from single sport events, and the next year is the Youth Olympic Games, the Commonwealth Games, as well as annual single sport events across sports. One is preparation for the 2027 Pacific Games. This will go away. This is health fund improvement on sports science and medicine, coaching practices, potentially training camps with other countries and some competitions to gauge athletes' performances. Another area is facility audit. Generally, there are facilities, even if open, ground across the country. Ideally, a facility audit will identify where they are, what they are, who owns and manages them, whether they can be upgraded, and so forth. Participation rates, again, this enables better decision making in knowing how many people are physically active, what activities they do, which are for work, for fun, where do their activities so we can support them. And monitoring and evaluation, this helps accurate decision making and enables return on investment to be identified with where are the blocks in achieving strategic initiatives and outcomes of the policy. Seating plan, this is to identify what additional seating we can install in north and south end of the stadium to increase capacity from the 9,875 seats to what the seats would be best, how many. Chairman, we also have a budget support under UNICEF. It's a budget support from donor, and 2025 revised budget, we have a 374,900. 2026 budget
is appropriated or non-appropriated?
That's appropriated, Mr. Chairman. 2026 budget estimate, we have 500,000, a difference of 125,100. There is an increase of 25%. In terms of active...
Non-appropriated, is it? Is it appropriated or non-appropriated? The UNICEF.
Appropriated, Chairman.
Appropriated? You sure? It is not in the appropriation, but I've actually picked it up in the non-appropriation. Some 400,000. 400,000, is it? Yes. 400,000. It's called Climate Smart Social Services and Infrastructure.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah. In terms of achievements, Chairman, we have a civil registration bill which is finalized, signed by the minister.
What is it? Sorry?
It's a civil registration bill.
Oh, civil registration, yes.
It's formally transmitted through to Parliament now. I think some 100 copies were printed and are now here. This bill should go through the Bill Legislative Committee and the Committee of Whole House first quarter of next year, 2026, okay. Mr. Chairman. Also, we have the Norotuna Park, one of the sport facilities. It's around 75% complete, and this sport facility will provide for indoor games, gym, and changing rooms. And also at the vicinity, we'll build a volleyball court and a netball court. Mr.
Who
Chairman.
owns that estate, that particular asset? Who owns it? Is it you, Home Affairs? You own it, or who owns it?
It belongs to the actually the sport facilities in Noro, Western Province, and the arrangement that is between the state and Salt Tuna is it's on the PPP, private partnership arrangement. And
But the land is a state land owned by the Commission of Lands, or owned by... We're not too sure, yeah?
the land belongs to the province, Mr.
Province.
Chairman. Yes.
Oh. So the whole of that land law in Noro is owned by the province, or...
Western Province, yeah.
So Commissioner doesn't own the title over it. Can you find out? We are spending money out of the appropriation. I mean, the government is part of the, provincial government is part of the government, but they are the ones that holds the title, yeah? And in future, if we're gonna look back and then try to assess what's the real value of spending money into it, into an infrastructure that we will not be in a position to be able to really reflect on evaluating into the way that, we consider, capital development spending into those areas. So we need to think about it in that way. Unlike, for instance, we give it to HCC, for instance, that the HCC owns the title. There's a way for you to reflect on the real value of investment like that. So this has to be in the minds of all of you as managers of the government agencies. First thing that we need to make sure carry out due diligence on is who owns the title like that. Who owns the title?
Yeah,
we cannot just turn around and say, let's spend public money into this because of some kind of an assumption that, we might have. And then later on, we find out that we are not in a position to really assess the real investment into these assets, yeah? Like that.
thank you, Chairman.
Yeah.
So the intention is once the facility is completed by first quarter of next year, it will be handed to the province.
Yeah, but who will hand it over? Land that is not owned by the commissioner, for instance, and even your ministry. So just rethink about it in that way. I hope that you are not pressed by some of our SOEs or others here, to expand without due consideration, carrying out due diligence first on some of these very, very legal and fundamental issues, yeah? That.
Thank you, Chairman. Noted there. Also, Chairman, we are organizing a consultation workshop on NGO policy.
Okay.
And it's in progress. But once the resources are available, then we will conduct the workshop. The essence of that is to establish a policy, NGO policy that governs operations of NGOs in the country. So they're able to work together and cooperate and also assist the state with its programs. Yeah. In in absence of that, when NGOs come in, there's no framework to regulate them. So after the policy, then we look at developing a legislation, Mr. Chairman. Also, under the National Sports Council, Chairman, some of the achievements are like well-managed, maintained, used facilities from the Pacific Games, training track, multipurpose hall, the hockey, scenes, National Stadium, Aquatic Center, Tennis Center, Western Sports House, Friendship, and also DC Park. These multi-million sort of facilities, and the upkeep and maintenance, and also ensuring that they are in good condition is very important. One of the areas NSC also embark on is publicity and promotions for increasing activity, promoting use of those facilities. Another area is IT and communications for effective operations. And that's like administration, office expenses, to ensure smooth operations, also to upskill staff, and also to provide for staff welfare, and so forth. This includes procurement administration of equipment, procurement administration of business software, development of web and social media platforms, procurement and management of consultancy services, payrolls, training and development of staff, public liability and workers' compensation insurance, and also moving office from Point Cruz to the National Stadium. Also, the governance of the National Sports Council, NF's improvement, implementation, and establishment of a sports recreation advisory committee to guide NSC outreach and cooperation, international liaisons and membership. And so these results are realized here. Also,
this has all been achieved, isn't it?
Those are achievements for this year.
I'll pause you there first, and then because we are running short of time, I'll just come straight to what you are prioritizing for next year. Okay, so thank you so much for the presentation that you made. You will put those information to our secretariat.
Sure.
And then we will recommend them as part of the ongoing support that the committee will have on some of the ongoing programs that you are doing. So let's stop there first, and then come back to, I suggest that we go straight to the development budget. Because, you know, that is what that has been presented here, that there is a major reduction to your provision for 2026. I think some 3-point-something million to the, what was it? Solomon National Sports Council program. So with that reduction, and I guess, you know, I was waiting for that point, you know, that you're going to reach that part and then put a pause on you. So you're working on the arrangement to or the management of the assets along King George, the National Stadium. Yeah?
That is correct, Chairman.
To a new arrangement, and I just heard from you that, you know, there's going to be an advisory council or something like that to be established to be able to hand over. Is that what you have just stated, or was it?
Thank you, Chairman.
What's going to happen to the stadium over there?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman.
And what's the kind of a burden that, you know, it's that we are facing there? Is it something that is it being utilized very well, and what's the rate of utilization of that?
Thank you, Chairman. CEO NSC will respond to that question. Yeah,
please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I think that there are different issues, so I'll try and separate them out. The development budget has been cut by about 3.5 million. And I believe that some of that is because there's an understanding that the items that we had applied through the ministry were probably more recurrent oriented rather than project and capital oriented. The amount of $4.9 million is to support the KG6 school to build a an artificial turf behind the girls' dormitory, and to
don't mix up those two. I know exactly that.
So that's that one,
yes.
Which is in the development budget. The issues that you're talking about, the National Stadium, is, I don't think, on the agenda per se. So when PS mentions an advisory council, that's part of the National Sport and Recreation policy, that there should be a Sport and Recreation Advisory Council. So that's that component. It's not to do anything with the land or the facilities directly in relation to how they're managed and how they're used.
So let me ask you a direct question about the National Stadium. How are we going in terms of managing that stadium? Are we managing it directly from the government budget, or is it generating enough of its revenue to be able to maintenance the recurrent operation of the stadium?
The short answer to that, Chair, is that unless we increase the usage fees, we will not be able to be self-sustaining.
So what's the kind of a number pressure that you are exposed to?
At the moment, for overall all of the facilities, we have spent, excluding salaries, in this year up until the end of October, we've spent $2.8 million. So that's excluding salaries. And we've made an income of $3 million. So at this, I think the world over, for example, swimming pools are never a profit-making enterprise, because the maintenance costs are so high, because you need to have a filter system operating. We're operating the filter system at least 8 hours a day, for example, because otherwise the water goes green. You need chemicals to go into the pool.
So who's footing the bill on the salaries?
The government.
The government?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. To the tune of what?
At the moment, we're working on a budget of about, because the full amount is not appropriated, that has been appropriated isn't paid. But at the moment, we've got a salary budget in the region of 14 million.
14 million?
Yeah, but we need to employ more people, because as you understand, in Oniara, for example, cleaning is always a big issue. Getting rid of mold is a big issue. When people are coming for events, and it's making sure that the toilets are clean, etc.
So 14 million, that's almost about 16 million directly. That's a direct expenditure exposure to it, versus an income of 3 million.
Yep. So, for example, security is $2 million a year. Electricity is at least $5 million a year.
Sure.
Water is $1.5 million a year.
Electricity is also factored into this 14 million, isn't it?
No, that's just a salary component.
Well, I mean, just give us a full expenditure exposure of the stadium, so that we can recommend to the government that appropriate provision should be given. Yeah, don't be afraid about it. Please, openly, tell us. PS, I think it's incumbent upon you to be able to tell the relevant institutions. This is one of the problems that we've been having. When we come to things like this. There is a tendency for him to hide him now. What are the true costs? Reporting responsibility seems to be really stifled. I think that would be the appropriate word to put it. Has been stifled deliberately, simply because we just don't want to make the picture him look no goody. But the recent article that has been produced by the International Monetary Fund, they picked specifically on Solomon Islands pressing fiscal management issue, that we have failed to be able to report fiscally, and the governance around the fiscal reporting has dropped. So where there is a need for us to let our own self, impose control measures, and then raise the alarm, the red flags on certain areas, to be able to act responsibly, tell everyone no. Mosem, and this seems to be the whole of the government machinery's problem. So, PS, you Jim know this beautiful team play here. I mean, you all know look sorry. I mean, I'm trying to help you. You know that, and I'm sure our members here. You know, I mean, we all cherish, you know, the achievement of such an important, iconic asset, yeah, Muslim. But at the same time, you know, we need to tell everybody that this is the true cost of it here, Muslim. Not for you to condemn each other, but for us to help each other to find a way, you know, how we are going to sustainably maintain the facility. I mean, nobody wants to leave that place. I mean, it would be true, not totally, you know, absolutely upset for you to say, well, it's too costly, abandon the place and go. Talim bao talim bill not now in Chatlo there. Or some people bagosili below there too, yeah. Me, I included, I will go. Yeah? But we are not going to do that. Yeah. So please help us to understand this. Yeah. What's the true cost? What's the real exposure maintaining this iconic stadium that Imingaram there, yeah? Even if we do very little in terms of, you know, usage, yeah, and then raise some little income on it. I mean, 3 million is all right. What is 3 million of 16 million? How much? What percentage now? Yeah, not bad, isn't it? See, well, multiply income now 3 out of 18. Yeah, what 1/6 or something like that? Yeah, just 1/6. That's fine. Yeah, 1/6. Look at 5% powering a 20-ton boat here, and then we will tell everybody, but this is how we lift up our pride here, These are some of the costs to be able to show them that, you know, we are proud of what we can do, and you may run by, because this is a team here, you meet together now, like that. So, you know, let's put that together. So, can you provide that information by tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you, one of the biggest investment that you have partnered with the government Lohem, is to be able to have that very iconic stadium, national stadium, Playum. All other countries in the region don't own a stadium like this here. And let us continue to host him at a conference make him go there. Yeah, so next year, if the Tourism Council, we will forget to ask him what the South Pacific Tourism Council is going to come here. When about to go? Or cannot go to this little room, they have to go there. So we'll get the Tourism Council of South Pacific to pay for hiring, blow facility, and all of that. So no, don't have any hard thinking around it. We really wanted to help you. So please, can you show that?
Sure.
Is there anything that you want to inform us as well? But the good thing is that everybody is using those dining hall for low two and for what more? Wedding, yeah, functions and all of that, yeah. So I think you are managing it very well. Yeah. No?
It's still with the National Hosting Authority.
Oh, really? Oh, so that part.
Yeah, we signed an MOU with the National Hosting Authority in April 2023, which stated and was reinforced in the Honourable Prime Minister's speeches that all of the sports facilities, including the multi-purpose hall, dining hall, as people know it, as well as the West End Sports House, would be handed over to the NSC. We've had all of the other facilities handed over, the last one being Cines in May this year. But those two facilities have not yet been handed over.
You might want to include it as part of your recommendation. You support him order?
Yes. Yep.
Put it in the recommendation so that, you know, we will recommend that all of that facility be handed over to NSC.
Yep.
It makes a lot of sense.
Thank you, Chair.
That, you know, what is hanging over these guys, the National Hosting Authority and the Pacific Games itself, can be dealt with separately, audit here.
Yep.
And today we are going to talk to the Audit General to qualify further, you know, those issues. But there has to be a cut-off point, heading it over to you. And what shall we say, you know, to support that? you have a better management arrangement?
Well, we have
Do
the
you
staff.
agree with that, PS?
Yes.
Please.
We have the staff in place with the competence to manage those facilities. It's all one part of. I always get confused a parcel or a plot of land, so it's all part of the same facility, the same area.
Yes.
It would also enable, particularly KG6 school, to get access to it, because, as PS said, they've lost a lot of land and play facilities. So that would also allow the school to have access there. So, for us, it makes sense. The ministry actually wants to move into the West End Sports House as well, and that would reduce the rental bill.
Absolutely.
And it would bring the NSC and the ministry close together, as we were when we had the office in Point Cruz. So there are a lot of activities that can be, leveraged from that perspective.
Incorporate that in your submission,
Thank you,
and we
Chair.
will really support you,
Yeah.
together with the task that needs to be done on the land titling. Okay, the land titles.
Yep.
Because I'm sure that because of the pressure of SB game, we don't know which title. No, boundary and all of that. Yeah, ba.
Some of it's.
All over no more. Do you think, PS? Please. Yeah. Or the boundaries below sports, yeah, because me remember school there before, yeah, rugby field, then go. I don't even have any idea when a rugby field, when a soccer field, yeah, and what, yeah. One image, track and field, yeah. And drain be time you also run come back to teachers college, but come fold on drain here too. Then all the also break no more low the place here. Yeah. So all of that area low before, yeah, like that, yeah. But the good message is that we are supporting you. I think you need to move in there, and you will be one of the richest ministry here in terms of land and asset here, like that. And you, with all of your very beautiful team there, yeah, you'll come up with a better management of that place, much more better control, yeah, environment for people to come inside. Yes.
Better fitness for
better
the ministry.
fitness as well too. Yeah, well, me, some will go out now. Same as me, you will go up, same me will go down too. Yeah. So I think this is a better note for you to end in a session with you. We are going to support you, honestly. Yeah. Just coming to leader, you want to say something, or you, Westcora, please?
No, me dragging me more.
No, yeah.
I'd like to go back to the recurrent.
Sure, please.
Yeah.
Can you speak to the mic?
If you go to the recurrent, there is an increased law consultancy fees for special duty divisions. Also, what are the special duties to be carried? Bisa that outperform outside, yeah. Seeing that there is an increase in the public servants' overseas cost, by now reduction of public servants overseas fares. Can the PSCU got any say on that one? Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, please. Yeah. Yes. Point. You mean overseas reduction? I think it's head 22513-10126. Public servants overseas others cost reduction. Increase your, I think there was 1 million.
There was a reduction. Public service, public service.
Reduction or increase?
Oh, yes.
Is that a reduction, Chairman, or
Well,
increase?
For the public servants overseas.
Overseas fares. 26001. 26001. Reduction by 162.
Right.
Headquarters, under headquarters.
Is it under headquarters or
Yes.
specific?
Headquarters.
No, it's civil service travel. Is that for the CIP?
Well, first of all, you are home affairs, so you should be at home. If you have grown an appetite to travel overseas, I'll be so surprised. You should be at home and then try to develop the civil registration ID. That's what you should be concentrating on, because you can raise a lot of money out of that. Because all of us will be coming for ID.
Yeah.
Right now, you go overseas, you can't tell them whether you're from Solomon Islands. There's no passport is a travel document, it's not an ID.
Yeah, Chairman, so
Yeah.
him under law headquarters, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Headquarters, 26001.
26.
Yeah. It starts off with 22511. Subhead 22511. Headquarters and administration. Yes, please.
Yeah, well,
They're still looking for it. Eh?
yes, well, looking at that one too, just like for say what now, law, this all law plant and machinery. But what can machine be all payment?
It's 1 million.
1 million, yeah. Also, Chairman, yeah, also with the sports development, with the subvention and grants.
Grant.
No, no, by Mr. I mean, just for explaining that subvention and grants. Grants have to go where?
It's 60 million.
60 million, yeah. So,
You start off with subventions and grants. Who will receive that 60 million?
Okay,
It's development.
okay, thank you, Chairman. So the reduction, first, the reduction on the public servants travel, I think budget is just only for 2 trips, so there's a reduction there.
Okay.
Also, member for Smalaita,
Leader of independent.
a leader of independent, raised something about the capex, the heavy equipment. Actually, as part of the Honiara City Green Clean Campaign Initiative, we are buying tree planting equipment. So that the intention is to plant trees along the highway and also the major roads within the Honiara City. So kind machine, Mr. Chairman, him a bit special by digging hole, then go out and come like tree where him grow finish and come put him there.
Putting budget, yeah?
So him big tree never grow, yeah, kind of small one.
Small one. Road number you will put him where? Side low road or low, middle low road or low?
Follow motor road, general.
Follow motor road,
highway, yeah, highway.
The island low in Chai, by Baraka Street.
No, by no middle low sides.
All side, okay.
So by consult with him, Telecom, Silvan, or SIA for.
Mm.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Pipeline low, the low.
Cable side road, pipe there.
Yeah, cable low side road.
So, by least with him, what's for doing good there, yeah. Part of beautification law city, Mr. Chairman, yeah. Time for taking out the machine, giving all HCC now. Doing what work here.
Me member HC by what's polem.
No, you know, therefore you will look after me, Chairman. So, yeah. Thank you. On the 60 million subvention grant by some intention, NSC, by receiving the Sports Council.
NSC.
That is correct. Yeah. But also, me tell him early today, experience from last year and last year and this year, I'm quite also a challenge because 60 not there, but
there's no money.
People access him number like 15% low last year, and this year 13%, so it's small there.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Huh?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I think the point you are trying to do is to recommend that they be given that money because they have a bigger asset to look after.
I mean, that money should borrow out, must release it.
That's how they will look after this villa stadium. Okay? So, what do you think? I think, please, can you propose that so that, our recommendation can become, tight, much sharper and tighter more for people no smile it because by him no committee. So,
Also, Chair, let me just go back to PS law. The other two properties were buildings were yet for handover law.
yes.
NSA. What the reason why hosting authority or no releasing the two buildings? Any reason?
Because no got bread every morning, so to take a look at time.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let us know so that we will go another strong one more recommendation.
The reasons also, sorry, but also the law say NHA to transfer assets to either NOXI or NSC. So yeah.
To who? Noxy? So Noxy no more. Me no like him.
Or NSC.
No.
Actually, Chair, I think every property should be handed to NSC.
NSC.
So I think that one. Reason I know me like Save.
Yeah, Chair. So what are the others, but the two no.
So
Still.
why?
No,
Why not?
Yeah.
If what hand him others, then why?
And elections office.
Do you have some idea? Sorry, Madam. Do you have some idea or?
I can only tell you what the status is now. So some staff for NHA are still in the West End Sports House, and the the electoral office also moved in there because their building is no more. And in relation to the multi-purpose hall, there are still some assets that need to be distributed. And again, as PS has said, the interpretation of the Pacific Games Act is that all of the non-financial assets must be given to NSC or NOXI. So we're waiting for those assets to be transferred out. And where they will go, we're not quite sure.
That's a very good point. And I think the leader is asking a very relevant question, which, we need to really put up our recommendation that, those two assets need to be given to the National Sports Council. Is that including the famous house? That famous house?
Sports Legacy House.
Sorry?
Legacy House?
Oh,
Legacy House?
yeah. Legacy House. Yeah.
Yeah, Chairman.
Luckily, it's not a famous house, but
Yes, the Legacy House has been given to NOXI.
Noxy.
Oh. This time now I am no good here. Yeah. Because, directly it will not be under the purview belong or government. And I don't know why they rush it to be transferred to them, and then you guys are not, because you can. I think NSC should be well resourced, in terms of assets, to be able to run its own affairs here. So we will make it a point to recommend that those assets, the two remaining ones, be given to it, because NHA, I think order start for collecting them still look to building here. I think one of them, the dining one, that mess, yeah. So you mean look good, man, good. Water collection every week, yeah. I me going to pocket no moment. Yeah. I think part of and approach, we will make this recommendation.
Thank you.
Any other thing more you wanted to recommend to us so that we will stand behind you on? Nothing, yeah? Well, this is what you got from us, from PAC, especially on those, that beautiful, magnificent national stadium, that iconic one. Anything below town council, you like tell them come or? I mean, below you Milo, Honor City Council. Nothing. All good, eh? Okay. So, Pam Cherokee and members of your team, please don't be sort of high-rated heartbeat on your session with us. Feel relaxed. We want to help you. Initially, Milukam, but you will everyone in Marava was tied up straight now. I want to ask you to relax. At the end of the session, you have got a good recommendation from us. We are going to recommend this fella 60 million here, they must release it to you. Otherwise, stadium brought down for good. That's on that. Maybe what other issues here, by later on we will ask your Minister Law in Chetlo there. But for the purpose of this very big asset belong the whole sporting pride of our country, yeah, we must quickly move it across to the National Sports Council. This whole concept of National Sports Council, when we started independence and come to the first decade of our celebration, they all cherished this organization. And it took us this long to resource it, come up with it, and now is the time to hand it over. Some people like, oh, it's strong, so we are going to make our recommendation. But please, come up with those requirements by tomorrow. Get the address from the Secretary, the General's Office, and I'm sure that you'll be given that response. But for now, Pam Cherokee and the team, thank you so much for appearing before the committee, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Good one.